Shalom everyone, hope everyone's doing well. I'm doing this video tonight because I have gotten a few questions over time and recently where people have asked why it is I at times dress as a Muslim, why I have been wearing the head covering like a Muslim, like I am now, and most recently why I have been wearing my head covering and have included the niqab. Not the official niqab, but I have been sort of wearing my head covering when out, and I sort of wrap it around where it does look like a niqab. And I always stress out that Islam doesn't own head coverings. You know, the head covering is not a religious belief that is just limited to Islam. In fact, it predates Islam and has been practiced since the inception of Judaism and other faiths and cultures and beliefs. In Judaism, the head covering is worn as a show of modesty, and also it indicates a woman's marital status. Many Orthodox Jewish women actually still keep that tradition, and also in some cases they wear a wig after marriage too. During the time of Abraham, that also was, or the head covering was, a sort of an expected custom for women to wear. If we also look at Genesis 24 verse 65, when we read about Rebecca, we see that once her servant tells her that the man coming towards them is her master, we see Rebecca getting her veil and covering her head. With time, of course, women have continued since that time to wear modest full dresses and head coverings. However, in recent times we see that attire has changed, especially for women, and of course, as we see, people and women have dressed very inappropriately, very, immodest. Skirts became shorter, everything's become shorter. Head coverings also sort of became non-essential unless it's in churches and worship. And in this day and age too, I know quite a few Catholics, I know quite a few Russian Orthodox women and younger women, in their 20s as well, who actually do wear the full head covering like I am now, not just in church but also outside of church full time, and I think that's actually quite beautiful. I also know a couple of Jewish married women, and I've also seen some online as well who have actually started to wear the full burqa, and the burqa is considered Islamic as well, but they've started wearing it as well, and with the full face covering. Some of them have their eyes only showing, whereas some have also like I said, wearing the full burqa with their eyes not showing. They can see through it, but there is sort of like a mesh thing that goes over the eyelid part, so no one can see them. And I suppose while Judaism and Christianity and Islam have vast differences, and they're very clear and obvious differences, we also do have something in common, and that is the head coverings for women, and I believe that it's a beautiful tradition, the head coverings. And yes, it does date back thousands of years, and despite people calling it an oppression, for lack of a better word, I believe it to be a liberation, really. And in that we aren't necessarily judged for our outward appearance, but more so for for piety, for dignity, for value, intelligence and humility. And we also do know that there are people out there who still judge us for outward appearance, for wearing the hijab, for dressing the way we do, for modest dress. But I think that in no shape or way or form should we really be caring what other people think, and we shouldn't really let it affect us, because at the end of the day we are doing it for our Creator and to please Him. And as a Muslim though, I have worn the head covering. I've never had a problem with it. I was never forced. I did it for Allah at the time, and I obviously choose to wear it now for my Creator, for Elohim, you know, for modesty reasons as well. And I think it's absolutely beautiful. I have days, obviously, where, and I'm sure you've seen it, where I do wear it like a sort of turban style Jewish way. And then I have days like I am now, you know, I'm wearing it the Muslim style. And, you know, once upon a time, I actually also said that I would never wear a niqab out, you know, in public, even though I sort of at times really did think that the niqab is quite beautiful on some Muslim women. I have since sort of changed my mind, because with these new restrictions in Victoria where the masks are mandatory, I have, instead of wearing a mask, have started wearing my head covering in a sort of niqab style where my face is covered and I'm sort of just showing the eyes. And I'm sort of actually starting to get used to it, and I kind of like it. And so I kind of joked around and said that I might actually put it on and wear that full time as well. But I have actually no problem doing it, and I do think it's beautiful. So I actually might. One thing that I do want to do is start wearing my head covering like I am now. I do find that covering my whole head, my whole hair, should I say, and my neck, and showing less, you know, in public and for people to see, is something that I want. And, you know, even though I sort of joked around and said that I am gonna start wearing the niqab, I actually might start wearing the niqab because I actually really like it, and I am used to it now. And I think in this day and age where masks are mandatory, wearing a niqab is not really an issue anymore. Like, I don't get looks. I haven't actually gotten any looks which are bad. I haven't received any bad feedback. So, you know, even if I did, I don't care. I'm not the person who actually cares what people think of me anyway. But yeah, I do find it beautiful regardless. And so I might actually start wearing that. And yes, to some people that is, you know, Muslim, but I don't care, because I know who I worship and who I love, and it's definitely not Allah. And I am doing it for my Creator and to please Him. So I hope that kind of answers some of your questions. And yeah, thank you for listening, and until next time, shalom.